What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We have another unboxing for you today. We're back with some Star Wars Armada, and we are excited. We finally have the Clone Wars stuff in. It is good to finally have something really, truly new for the game. It's been a while since this was initially teased, and finally we have it. So we are going to unbox this bad boy here. This is the Separatist Alliance Fleet Starter. So we got plenty of stuff to get into here. Brand new ships, new upgrades, fighters, commanders, all kinds of goodies here. So strap yourselves in. We're going into hyperspace on this one. We're going to get this open for you guys, and then we'll talk about it. We'll be right back. All right, guys, so we got everything opened up from the Separatist fleet box, so there is quite a bit of stuff in there, and Fantasy Flight with these new sort of fleet boxes has done a really good job of packing a whole lot of goodies into a rather small box, so these are definitely packed full. So we got our different flight stands for the two smalls, and then the medium ship, all of our fighters and flight bases and all that good stuff there. So we get 4 stands of those. We'll take a look at the ships in just a second. Since these is essentially a starter set, right, we're going to get a set of dice again, all the other components, the dials, measuring tool, maneuver tool, all that. Pack of our cards, which we'll get into in just a bit here. Another learn to play guide, the ships themselves, and then a whole bunch of cardboard goodness as well. So speaking of the ships here, so let's take a close-up look here. And that is just absolutely gorgeous. I think they've kind of outdone themselves here on these initial releases. So this is just top notch. And then on the underside there, not too much going on, but still looks pretty cool. And kind of the back end there. So really good stuff there. And we get 2 of these guys. And again, just everything looks nice and crisp. Kind of the rear end there. Flight peg there does look a little beat up, but that really won't matter. There's the front end for you guys. So really cool. And even though these are the smalls, they stack up pretty nicely there. And then on the fighter side, we get these little guys in new sort of pre-colored plastic. If we can get it to focus, maybe. There we go. It's focusing a little bit. Let's actually try this a little bit differently here, see if we can't get a better focus for you guys. Maybe. It might not cooperate. Might just have to wait until we get these on the stands for you guys. But again, we get quite a few of those. So like I said, I think 4 stands worth there, so 3 apiece, so 12 fighters. So good stuff there on the model side. So we'll be right back. We're going to crack the cards open and take a look at more of the specifics there. And we'll probably have a separate video here too, and maybe just some new ideas as far as like fleet composition initially, tactics and stuff like that, and just with what's available in this new first wave here for the Clone Wars and the Separatists. So, and then we'll take a look at the cardboard components for you guys and get everything sort of assembled and kind of show you the finished product here and take a quick peek into the learn to play to see if there's any major new updates or anything waiting for us. So we'll be right back. Alright guys, so let's dig into the cards a little bit here. So we get, again, some missions. I do believe that these are the same as existing ones, but at least they seem familiar. But anyway, we'll take a look at those in just a moment. The cards are nice and updated, so it has all the original commands and everything, and then all the the actual steps, and then here on the side also all the tokens. So the newer ones like Salvo, and then all the originals and stuff there too. Damage deck seems like it's been changed. Don't have the damage deck memorized, but probably should. But seems like there's definitely more structural damage ones than before. I counted 8 in here, so that definitely seems a little bit more brutal than before. Probably do a little comparison video here as a follow-on to these unboxings, just to compare the damage decks and see what's happened there. But the main thing that we're here for, at least in this unboxing, is the new ships, the new admirals, upgrades, and everything else. So one thing to note immediately off the bat, of course, is that Fantasy Flight has decided to basically do away with the small cards and the tarot size cards, and everything is just the normal sort of playing card size now, which has its ups and downs. I thought definitely helps streamline things, simplify things. There's only one card size, only one like sleeve type that you need to buy. Going forward, which is nice too. But I don't know. One of the charms I think of the game was just having all the different cards, especially the tarot cards for the ships. Just a nice big chunky card to show off some of the art and have everything with plenty of space. But anyway, some change is good too. So, but we'll see how that all goes moving forward. It does make some of the older collections a little bit annoying in that sense, just to still have a lot of those old sizes and stuff, especially if you had like promo cards and so on and so forth. But I think that's what that other release is for too, where they've essentially re-releasing the cards and then the new format and everything too. But anyway, let's jump in here to the new stuff. So right off the bat, Dooku. So he's a 30 pointer. You must choose at least 2 types of command cards, or sorry, command tokens for this card. At the start of each ship phase, you may discard 1 command token from this card. And then if you do, each enemy ship gains a raid token matching that command token. That's pretty sweet. So, and again, you may discard it, so you're not forced to burn these in like the first few turns where maybe you're not where it wouldn't be as advantageous. So being able to do that when you think it'll be the best will be great. Then off on the side here, so Separatist clearly, and not immediately sure somebody in the comments will drop us a message what the 3 stands for there, but I'm sure we'll figure it out here going forward. And again, he is one of our admirals. And then we get essentially a droid has another admiral here, so also 30 points, Kraken. Or Kraken, however you want to pronounce it. But anyway, once per activation, while a friendly ship is attacking a ship, if another friendly ship is at close to medium range of the defender, the attacker may change 1 die to a face with any 1 icon and no other icons. So that being said, that's pretty nice if you can, throw in an accuracy if you need it, change a hit to a crit, or just, something where it's just one icon basically, but still a pretty cool way to sort of customize the damage that you're trying to deal. And it should be pretty easy to achieve that, I think, with the way the Separatist fleet's going to play. Then we have Rune Hako, 4-pointer here. And basically, when you reveal a command, you may choose another friendly ship at distance 1 to 5. If you do, discard any number of command tokens from that ship, this card, or both, to gain 1 matching command token for each discarded token. So that's pretty neat too. And ideally, you're not discarding him so that you can continue to use that. But that's a pretty neat trick. Wat Tambor. So for engineering, you may spend up to 2 shields from any of your hull zones, or any 1 hull zone on another friendly ship at distance 1 to 5 to gain twice that many additional engineering points. So that's pretty cool. So kind of just siphoning some energy around there, which will be pretty cool for some emergency repairs, which, again, based on all these extra direct damage things or structural damage things in the damage deck, you're probably going to want to be doing that. T-Series tactical droids. So, and yeah, just checking the other side there. And then I think that's supposed to be our exhaust symbol. Somebody phoned Wizards of the Coast. Looks like the tap symbol, kind of. Not sure how they got away with that. When you spend only a engineering, the navigation, or the fighter command token to resolve a command, you may exhaust this card. If you do, resolve that command as if you had spent a dial of the same type instead. So that's pretty cool. That I think will be very useful. So, and oh, nice, we get a couple of them. Love to see that. Battle Droid Reserves. So droid only. You may exhaust this card. If you do, flip any number of your face-up damage cards with the crew trait face down. Nice. Discarding face-down damage cards costs 1 fewer engineering point. Oh, nice. Oh, that is so cool. I like that. Excellent. Couple of those. Hyperwave signal boosts. All right. So during the squadron phase, when it's your fleet's turn to activate squadrons, you may exhaust this card to choose a number of unactivated friendly squadrons at close to long range, up to your squadron value. This turn, Activate each of those squadrons. While attacking each of those squadrons with AI are treated as activated by a fighter command. Ooh, nice. Loving it. Excellent. And just a 3-pointer too. So far these upgrades seem pretty cheap. Reserve hangar deck. When a non-unique squadron with swarm at distance 1 to 5 is destroyed, you may discard this card. We should point out too that not all of these will necessarily be, I think, Separatist only, of course. So obviously some new things for the existing factions. So this is a 3-pointer. Sorry. So when non-unique is with swarm is destroyed, 1 through 5 is destroyed, you may discard this card. If you do, you may set that squadron's hull points to 2 and place that squadron unengaged at distance 1 with its activation slider toggle to the activation side. Oh, that's pretty cool. Neat little cheap upgrade to basically keep some of your swarms alive. So definitely worth going back and looking at like your ties and all that stuff too. Very nice. Dang, only one of those. Would have loved a couple more. Reactive Gunnery 4-pointer. While defending, you may exhaust this card and spend a ready defense token to resolve that defense effect there. Instead of that token's effect, you can't resolve that defense effect more than once per attack, so nice. All right. Swivel mount battery, so our first modification here. It looks like Separatist / Empire, if I'm reading the symbols right, but I'm sure, again, our new rule book will give us a pointer there. But this is an 8-pointer. So let's see here. When you reveal a command, you may exhaust this card to choose one of your hull zones and mark it with a focus token. While attacking a ship from that hull zone, add 1 die of any color from an adjacent hull zone's armament to your attack pool. While attacking from adjacent hull zones, remove 1 die from your attack pool. When you ready this card, remove the focus token. Okay, so basically lets you switch every turn. So basically you can bring in potentially a color that you wouldn't normally be able to bring in because of the facing, but at the cost of losing a die overall. So that could be interesting to see how that will apply. So let's keep moving on. So we get a couple of those. Nice. I really do wish they would have just given us like at least 2 of everything though. Potentially going forward if it was non-unique. Heavy ion emplacements. Blue crit, exhaust this card. The defending hull zone and each adjacent zone loses a shield. Okay. Munitions resupply. So after your reveal command dial step, you may exhaust this card and discard any number of firepower tokens from it to choose that many friendly ships at distance 1 to 5. Assign each of those a firepower token. So a lot of weird stuff going on here. So we're going to have to figure that out when we look at the rules here. Obviously we got the exhaust symbol figured out there. And just trying to figure out what each of those will mean there. So we'll have to get that figured out. But nonetheless, they're definitely trying to pack a lot of stuff onto just the one card. Parts resupply, 3-pointer. So after your command dial step. So this is basically the same thing, but just for engineering as opposed to munitions. So on the firepower side. Okay, so I think these will probably be kind of a staple going forward. Oh, all right. So we get our first title here. This is exciting. So a 2-point title. Let's see. The Tide of Progress 12. So before you are dealt a face-up damage card with the ship trait, you may exhaust this card to discard that damage card without resolving its effect. Well, that's pretty neat. So could be useful in a pinch. So not just to ignore the crit effect, but just straight up discard the damage card. I'm loving that. That's nice. The Nalor. 5-pointer. While defending, if you're at speed 2 or higher, you may spend a defense token to resolve the evade defense token effect instead of that token's effect. You cannot resolve the evade more than once per attack, but still pretty cool there. We haven't looked at the ship card yet, so we don't know exactly what all it has. And then going on to the smaller ones here. The Foreman's Labor, 5-pointer. Before you suffer damage from an attack, if the defending hull zone has at least 1 shield remaining, you may exhaust this card to reduce the total damage by 1. So interesting there. So seemingly a lot of high defensive potential here with the Separatist thing so far, between ways to get extra engineering to heal, remove damage, and move it around and stuff like that. I'm liking that so far. What do we got here? The Beast of Burden, 6-pointer. When you activate, you may exhaust this card to spend one or more of your defense tokens to choose up to that many defense tokens on friendly ships at 1 to 3 and ready those defense tokens. Nice. So these are definitely not going to be throwaway ships. These definitely have some good use and value. Nice. All right, let's get on to the ships themselves and check out this new format here. So basically, on the back here, so we're getting kind of a nicer piece of artwork, because definitely that little corner piece of artwork on the front or on the side would not cut it. So this is our Munificent class comms frigate. So these are our 1 second here. So we have the 2 different versions here. So the comms frigate, hull 6, we get anti-squadron of 1 red, 2, 3, 4 on command, squadron, and engineering. And we see our tokens there. A little bit slow though, speed 1 and 2, but we do get some nice maneuverability at speed 2. Pretty solid shields overall, 4, 3, and 2. And then mainly red dice here on the comms frigate. So triple red out the side, 2 in the back, and 2 red, 2 blue out the front. So pretty well rounded overall for what it is. The star frigate, so we can see here, same speed, same token, same hull, although a little bit better anti-squad, red-black. We don't always see that, but at the difference of 1 less squadron here. And beyond that, the regular attacks do appear to be the same. So overall, an interesting little switch there. But we'll see how that actually plays out in some actual games. So our upgrade bar is right here, so not bad overall. And it's got some key terms: droid, bombard, and comms. And then we see that clocks in at 70. Again, getting used to this new format on the cards here. And then the star frigate, just a little bit different at 73. Let's compare the upgrade bars here, just to see if there's any big differences. And yes, so we do have that kind of right there. So some minor differences. Still has droid, bombard, and comms though, so pretty interesting there. Again, we'll have another follow-up video. This is just our sort of initial impression on stuff, so I know we're missing some stuff. The hard cell class transport, so those are our smaller guys. So 5 hull, which seems pretty solid for a small. Looks like a blue anti-squadron. We get evade, redirect, and embrace. 1 command, 2 squadron. Seems pretty solid too for a small. And 3 engineering, again, which is very respectable. Shields are interesting here. So 3 out the front is great. 2 in the back even, but the flanks here, our port and starboard, is pretty shaky at 1. So clearly keep these pointed to the enemy if you can. And these bad boys get out to speed 3. Super maneuverable at range, or speed 1, not range 1, speed 1, with a 2 click there, and then speed 2 is just 1 click. 3 gives you a click, and then nothing at the fastest or final click there. So overall, pretty neat. Again, 2 of those, so pretty easy to remember. 2, 1, 2, 3 on command, squad, engineering. And on the back side, these things clock in at 47, so just droid and transport, and our little upgrade bar there. So again, we get those, but then we have a little bit of a different version here, and that, before we continue on, gosh, I do believe we forgot to mention the actual offense on it. So nothing in the rear, so I don't recall seeing a ship with nothing on the rear before. So but anyway, blues out the side, and just a little bit out the front though. 2 red and a blue, so not bad, at least again, initial impressions here. But I think we're trading some, like, a shot out the rear here just to get that extra hull seemingly. The battle refit though is a little bit more exciting. 5 hull as well. Anti-squadron's pretty solid there with blue black. Same tokens. Here, though, the squadron drops by 1. So that's definitely something that need to be factored in here for fleet building with these guys. We trade the blues for reds in basically every arc that we do get to shoot, and so it's just 3 red out the front, though. But again, a lot of thinking is going to have to go into building these new fleets. Just all the existing cards and stuff like that. But there's definitely ways to make these even better, not just the new upgrades, of course, but going back and sort of revisiting some of the old ones. And then these things, clocking at 52 apiece. Droid and transport, and again our upgrade bars there. Then, last but not least, we get our fighters. So here in this starter set, we're just getting the vultures. So Droid Fighter Squadron, speed 4 with 3 hull. We do get a unique one too. We'll talk about that in a second. Clocking in at 8 points. Blue-black for anti-squadron and a red for anti-ship, which doesn't seem impressive so far, or all that impressive. But then we read what these things can actually do. So AI anti-squadron 1. So we know down the road we'll be getting 2s and other stuff. So what that means is, while attacking a squadron, if you were activated by the fighter command, and we just saw when we looked through all the upgrade cards, at least so far, there's other ways that we can, even if we didn't necessarily take the dial or token or whatever to do that, there's ways that we can basically have it be treated as such. So we'll be activating AI squadron, or AI anti-squadron quite a bit, it would seem. But anyway, when you do that, you can add 1 die to your attack pool of a color that's already in your pool. Now notice that applies to your attacks, period, not necessarily just anti-squadron. So these things could potentially be fairly respectable, do some anti-ship work too. I mean, if you roll 2 hits on the red there for the anti-ship, that's still solid. They're not bombers, of course, but so you're not going to be getting crits, I guess, but still, enough of these things, and they're dirt cheap. Plinking away with 2 hits potentially could be nasty if the dice are with you. And we get swarm, of course, which was expected, so not a surprise there. But speed 4, so definitely above the curve, and about as much hull as we would expect. But again, quantity is going to be the main thing here, and if we do it right and try to get our AI squadron thing going all the time, the quality will be there too. And then just to, maybe we'll leave these side by side. So our unique one here is called Haor Chal or Call Prototypes. So it is double the points, but you get all kinds of goodies here. So, armament, speed, hull, that's all the same. But this has a really nasty activation trigger here. So before an enemy ship or squadron at distance 1 moves, you may perform an attack against that ship or squadron even if you are engaged. Whoa! Let that sink in, boys and girls. That is bonkers. And especially if I think we can make that work with AI anti-squadron too, right? Because you're making an attack, and basically if you were activated that turn, I think, with the fighter command, then I think you should be potentially throwing the extra dice when these other triggers happen. Let us know in the comments if you think that is the way that works. We will definitely be reading up on that, because that could be huge. So luckily for the opposing player, you only get like 1 of these, because damn, that seems nasty. So AI Squadron 1 and Swarm there, so just like the generic version, but that is a nasty trigger. Again, enemy ship or squadron, that's just brutal. And as you might expect of like an ace type fighter, so we get a brace, which you got 3 hulls, so I mean, hopefully the enemy won't hit you too bad. But you do have scatter as well, so that hopefully, if they're not rolling accuracies, that will potentially keep you around for some time, and just keep you busting out that activation trigger, and then obviously your own attack at some point too. So very, very nasty. So loving the fighters so far. Can't wait to see the other versions and everything that we'll get down the road. So that is a quick tour through the cards, guys. Again, we'll probably have a separate video here on the new damage deck, kind of compared to the old one, and then take a peek through the missions too. Like I said, this is all just first impression stuff. So we are going to get the ships together for you real quick in this next section, and then take a look real quick through the rulebook too, to finish up the unboxing here. All right, guys, we're back. We got everything assembled here. So, kind of a look at the fleet that you get. So, again, we got our 4 stands of fighters here. We got our 1 ace as well. And then we did basically battle refits for now, at least in our first game, on both of the hard cell classes. And then the Munificent class here, the Star Frigate, is the one we decided to go with initially. Just seemed a little bit more interesting there, just for the extra anti-squadron. Kind of the same deal with the battle refits. So just to wear down the Republic forces, at least initially. That's probably what we're going to do here for our first couple battle reports, just to pit these things evenly against each other. We're going to hold off, at least for the time being, on like doubling up on the starters. We'll wait for the other sort of like wave 1 stuff to come out and pick up extras of the ships as we go. Unfortunately, all the fighter packs were already sold out online, so we're going to wait for those to come back into stock too, so we can start adding numbers here, especially with the generic droid fighters clocking at 8 points. So we're definitely going to need a whole lot more than what we got here. So, but anyway, really cool fleet. Hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing. Did go a little bit long, but again, a lot of new stuff to cover, and just very exciting to finally get an actual wave of releases for Armada. It's been too long. So hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, leave some comments. Be happy to answer any questions so far if you haven't gotten yours yet. And leave us a like and a subscribe too if you haven't already. And then stay tuned for more. Thanks so much for stopping by, guys. We'll see you in the next one.